everyone, and welcome back to the Chronic Corner. This episode is all about the top triggers for worsening your symptoms when you have dysautonomia. And there's plenty out there, and if we miss any, feel free to comment them below. But these are the main ones. And just because you have dysautonomia, it might mean that one of these doesn't cause you any problems, but for the majority of us, it does. So number 1, heat and the sun. Now, thankfully, I live up north and don't have to deal with super hot summers, but whenever we get to about 80 degrees and up, I notice that my symptoms get a lot worse. I feel very drained all the time, and I try to avoid being out in the heat as much as possible. Number 2 is exercise or most physical activities. Again, we can't work out like healthy people because we have extreme fatigue and our heart rate skyrockets and it makes us feel worse. Yet we're told to exercise to feel better. So that doesn't make as much sense. Number 3 is lighting. Now, a lot of people with dysautonomia are very sensitive to various types of lighting. Personally, fluorescent lights are a huge symptom trigger for me, whether it be in a stadium, a gymnasium, a grocery store. It really doesn't matter, but anywhere that there's any kind of fluorescent lighting always triggers my symptoms and makes me feel worse. I don't know why. The same goes for noises. So any kind of machinery noise, loud people, loud music always aggravates my symptoms no matter where I am, inside, outside, doesn't matter. And that kind of goes with the next one, which is crowds. Now, whenever I am in crowds, I'm always kind of uncomfortable to begin with. I'm not a huge fan of crowds. However, when you have dysautonomia, I don't know if it's anxiety or what, but my symptoms are always more aggravated, and I think we're all much more sensitive to light and sound and just being in a closed off environment. And knowing that if we start to not feel good, we can't get away easily and get some relax and get some relief from our symptoms. So the next one, number 6, is standing. This is probably pretty obvious to most people if you have dysautonomia, but I still had to mention it. Standing for long periods of time more than likely makes your symptoms worse, whether it be making your heart rate increase, your blood pressure drop, and just anything. I mean, you can start to get your heart racing, like palpitations. You can start to feel fatigued, excessive sweating. It doesn't matter. Each person's different, but more than likely your symptoms are going to be triggered by standing. Next one, hot water, whether it be a hot shower, a hot bath, or even a hot tub. More than likely, this is going to make you feel worse, such as dropping your blood pressure too low when you already have low blood pressure. So try to avoid any kind of body of hot water, I guess. The next one is stress. This one's much harder to avoid, in my opinion. Between family life, work, school, it's really, really challenging to avoid, but it's important to keep in mind how stressed you are, because I notice, for myself anyway, when my life is more stressful, my symptoms are much, much worse. So it's important to find things that help you relax and make sure you're on top of things and can realize when you're getting stressed. The next one, probably pretty obvious, well, the next 2 are caffeine and alcohol, both of which are going to dehydrate you. Caffeine is going to probably skyrocket your heart rate. And it's really important that if you notice that it's triggering your symptoms, to be aware of that and try not to have it as much. I know that's much easier said than done if you're a coffee lover, but it is important to recognize that makes your symptoms worse. And then the last one is stairs. Now, I'm pretty sure this one's not just me, but stairs are so difficult for me. I can walk the same distance, on a flat road, and yes, I'm tired, but I'm okay. Whereas I do stairs and I am so out of breath and my heart rate is racing. And don't worry, I've had it checked out. It's just POTS. And if you experience it, make sure you have it checked out too, so that there isn't a more serious condition. But it is very common for people with POTS to experience this. But specifically stairs, for some reason, are just so dang challenging. So thank goodness for elevators if you can. So yeah, those are the top one. If you have any more that we missed, feel free to comment them below. And for more information, visit Dinet.org. Thank you so much for watching.